Hey you guys, so I'm back to do a highly requested video, and this video is my beef pho recipe. It's a really easy recipe because I'm not a professional chef or anything, so I make things really easily. And Sparko has just had it with me, so let's just quickly get this started and get this going. I wanted to show you guys the stuff that might be a little foreign. This is crystal candy or rock sugar, anyone will work. And then I got a pre-packed mixed spices for pho, which is real nice, has all the required spices that you would need for pho. And then you'll also be needing this beef eye round to pretty much put on top of your bowl. I get it not sliced, but if you can get it sliced, that'd be awesome. So the first thing I did was parboil the leg shank bones, meaning that I boiled those thoroughly, poured them out, rinsed them, and then put them back into boiling water. And the next thing I did was cut up the veggies. So I did all the garnish, which is the cilantro and the green onions, mixing those together. Hopefully my camera will focus at one point. There we go. And then I just mix those and I put them in a container, and then I keep the ends of the green onions and I'm going to throw that in the pot. Next, I'm going to roast the onions and the ginger, and I'm just doing it in the broil, actually, in the oven, in my little conventional oven, and I just put those on broil until they look like this. It's really going to bring out a nice aroma out of them. So I'm just letting the pot boil. I have nothing in here. All I have are the bones, and I'm just letting it cook through. All the oils are coming out of that. And then now I'm adding the onions and the ginger that I've already boiled right into the pot. As well as the green onions that we chopped up earlier. Now to do the spice packet, it comes with this nice little pouch that you're going to see me struggle with pretty much. But before, if you guys aren't able to find this this pre-packed mixed spice, which I actually did not discover till recently, I only used star anise and cinnamon before this. So those are like the main two that I guess would really bring out the pho flavor. But if you could find anything like this, that would be awesome because it has all the necessary spices that you would need, and it's just so great. And this, I could not figure out how to do this because the string was just not working with me, so I ended up having to just wrap it around and then tie it. But it works because once you put it in there, you don't really move it around too much. No, I was like, nope, that's not gonna work. Yep, let's just keep watching me struggle. Ha ha ha. And then, nope, I'm not gonna tie like that. I'm just gonna twist it, wrap it around, there we go, and then just tuck the string under. If you guys have better ways to do this, let me know. But this actually worked. This did not come out at all. It just kind of sat in there real tight and snug, and I just tuck the string under there. Yep, that worked. And of course, I'm just dropping the spice bag right into the pot of boiling stock. And we're just going to let that sit and simmer real nicely. So if you're like me and you're cheap and you can't find the pre-sliced packs of beef eye rounds, you're going to have to suffer and slice it as thinly as possible. And I'm not very good at slicing these, but ideally you want them real thin. That way it can, okay, not that thin. You want them thin that, oh my god, this is terrible. I don't even know why I even put that in the video. But anyways, if you want it really thin, that way it'll cook up nicely in the bowl, and then because typically you put this on top of the noodles and then you pour the soup in. So you want it to be able to cook with just hot soup. And if you're only feeding 2 people like me, then you put it in a container. Otherwise, you can put it in a pretty dish. Now I'm just going to scoop out all that nice nasty gunk at the top of the pot. The oils can stay because some people like a lot of oils in their pot in their bowl of pho. I'm getting the nasty gunk, the white foam that's coming up from the beef bones. That's what I'm getting out. So at this point, the pot has probably been boiling slash simmering for about an hour. Now I'm going to start seasoning up the soup. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of salt. Then I'm going to also add the rock sugar. You can use regular sugar as well. Just add it to taste. I'm just grabbing a couple nubs of these rock sugar and adding them to the pot. And then you want to add the fish sauce, and this gives it flavor. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Probably going to be adding about like 4 tablespoons. You don't want it to be too salty because you have to remember that we do add hoisin sauce and sriracha to it after too. After it has all boiled, I'm going to take out most of the bones that have meat on it and let it sit aside. I'm going to cut off the meat off the bones. This is completely optional, but you can also add some hard-boiled eggs, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. So I have my clean cutting board ready. I have the leg shank bones. These actually had a lot of meat off of them. So as a bonus, I'm going to chop these up and add these to the bowls as well. Now for the pho noodles, this is my favorite brand, and you want to get the ones that are airtight. That way it stays fresh. You can use that, or you can use these dried ones that take a little longer to boil, but they work just the same, and they do last longer, I believe. The other ones you would have to freeze if you want it to last long. So I'm going to start with boiling water, and this is how you prepare the bowls. I'm going to add the fresh noodles in there and just have it boil in there for maybe about 30 seconds, and then you pour it into a colander and into a bowl. Now I'm starting a second batch of the dried ones, and these take a little longer, so I just throw them in, and they probably have to boil for about a minute or 2. And now just build up your bowl.